Hang on, everybody. What I'm trying to do is I'll drop my phone down the hole. Excuse me. We're there. We're set. And we're good. Try this once. Okay. Here. Give you this for a while here. Suddenly, morning from Brainerd. Heard your ice fishing extravaganza went good, huh? We got fish in here. Hey, Brandon, Logan. How you guys doing? Happy noon hour almost. It's 2 minutes till noon. We should have a pretty good hour here of talking and asking questions. If you got them, put it on there. I'll try to keep up. But suddenly, 5 minutes ago, I caught an 18-inch walleye. I'll just say, well, I better get this stuff ready to go. And the fish came through suspended about 10 feet down, and I raised up one jig to him, and he bit it, and I missed him, of course, so I quick raised up the other one. The fish swam back and forth, and he looked at that other little jig for a long time, and finally he bit it, and he was, like I said, 10 feet down, and he bit it, and he was a good one. Well, here, I can do this. There's fish around here, but here's the, why are you getting so much dim? I hope it's not that dim for you guys, but an 18-inch walleye just bit. It hasn't been a great morning of fishing, but the more I think about it, that's how spoiled we are here. If the picture is dim, it's just because it's so doggone bright out, and I don't know what I can do about that, but hopefully it's not, okay? 12 noon. Hi, everybody. Welcome to lunch at Lake of the Woods. I'm Kurt Quinnell from the NCOR Guide Service. Your keep it clean and clean, drain, and dry ambassador for Lake of the Woods. Just reminding people of what we should all be doing anyway, you know. Pick up after yourself. Man, there's fish coming in here. This wasn't... It's been a pretty slow morning. Here he comes. Come on up, buddy. That one's coming up. Another one's coming up. These are probably little saugers. I'd say they're tulibies or little saugers. We'll get to what's been going on here. I'd like to start this thing off with a fish maybe, but come on, bite it. There, he's there. Yep, I got him. Let's see if I can swing this back around here. Not huge, but he's not bad either. This is the, the third walleye that I've caught this morning. This guy's a little bit small to keep, but you saw they're swarming in here, huh? All right, buddy, here you go. You can turn around. It works best to release these fish if you get them down in the water, and the water is just a little bit far for me to reach here. So I dropped that one a little bit, and of course he spun right around. Oops, what's going on here? I gotta touch this to make it happen. All right, here we go. Morning, Tim. Marlon, hey, Marlon. Picture's good, I appreciate that. Alex, thank you. When you do these lives, you just love to catch some fish, but it really throws you off. Okay, I'm going to tell you what's going on here, right? Last week, if you saw my video, oops, I did one with my friend Joel from Wisconsin. And we went out of the Wigwam Road, great long ice road, It was 15 miles out, 14 miles over Pine Island we went. There was some road after that. We could have probably gone further. But, hey, fishing was good, and it had been good. There's another fish coming up right away. Don't they know I'm busy? There he is. Well, I guess I'm better at this than I thought I was. The fish bite every day, pretty much, sometime, all right? Here's a sauger, but this is a pretty good one. Let's measure him. I've got two saugers in the bucket. One is 16 inches and one is 15 inches. This one is, well, 14 and a half inches. You know, I haven't kept, I thought about earlier, I haven't kept fish in 2 weeks. But now, with the fish fries, a 14-inch sauger is going in the bucket today. I'm going to be all over the place here, too. $62 people out there. Thank you, guys. I have a train of thought, but my friend Jeff gave it to me, and now I've left it at home, so it wouldn't fit in the fish house anyway. I'll try to keep up. So we're out on the wigwam row all the way to the end, and what I noticed was, and if you watch the video, you know this. What I noticed was, heck, we were right out in front of Long Point, right out in front. So I said, well, I drove all the way over, 22 miles one way, 4 miles back out to Pine Island, and 14 miles more to fish about probably 4 miles from home. Well, I was kind of excited to get back here and get out. Morning, Daniel. Thanks for being here. So then, that was like Thursday last week. Friday, I got back out to my spot, and the snow had fallen a couple of times and had huge drifts all the way around. It was just kind of a mess. So I set up in there, and this was Saturday morning. Friday wasn't great. I went out Saturday morning, and whoa, hang on, buddy. I went out Saturday morning and fished. It just wasn't very good. I said, well, they have to bite sometime, because that's what I say, they bite sometime. So I fished all afternoon, and it was nothing. I caught like 6 or 7 fish all day. So I said, well, all right, it's time to move. So that was Saturday. I didn't fish Sunday, but yesterday I fished out there again, and in the morning I caught 6. So when I got done, I went straight out another mile. I went right off the Great Long Point Road. You can get around pretty good out here. I'm driving my truck again, and I just went out another 8/10 of a mile and dropped the house off. Oops. George was too late now. And besides, this is a little house. And when I came out here to set up for myself, I've got 7 feet to drill holes in, all right? And I drilled them all wrong for anyone else getting in this fish house with me. So I appreciate the offer, but we can't do that today. So I moved out here yesterday and got out, woke up this morning, it's 16 below zero. And it's been windy and terrible now. When it gets 16 below, the skies are high, the sun is out, there's not much wind. And that usually is not great for fishing. But then I've caught great fish on a day when it was like that. So you can't say, oh, this works great, or this works great, or this doesn't work all the time, because, boy, you just never know how it's going to go. I'll try to keep up with your comments here, and I guess we're doing pretty good here. Reynold is watching from his semi at the North Dakota Mill. Are you in line there today? Is that what you're doing? I know where that North Dakota Mill is. So I moved out here, and then I set up at 8:15. I had lines in the water. Heck, at a quarter to 8, it's pretty much broad daylight now. That's great. So anyway, 8:15, my lines go down. I sit here and I watch nothing until 8:45, a half hour, nothing. Well, then I caught one, and it was a nice one. The first fish I caught was that 16-inch sauger. It was great. And then there's 9:15 when I got my next bite. So now I'm complaining and whining and switching baits around, saying, geez, there's no fish going to bite here ever. And then plucked a couple more. And finally, at about 10:30, I realized I've caught 8 fish now. And I had 2 good keepers. So usually if you're catching 25 fish a morning, they're all going to be, you know, this big. So I had 8 fish and I caught 2. Here comes the, watch this guy. Right there. And then I caught a big tulipy. I've caught only a few tulipies this year, and they've all been really big ones. So I caught that, and suddenly I realized I've caught a dozen fish. Still had only the 2 keepers. And I thought, well, that's not throwing stuff around mad, terrible fishing for the morning. Fishing by myself. But they'd be nothing for a long time, then suddenly, boom. Brad from Nitchie, North Dakota. Thank you. That fish is still there. Let's see what he's going to do. So they kind of come in spurts. He's on my bait, but he's not biting it. I'll show you. I'll show you what I've got down here in a little bit. Tell the truth, is eel pout any good? Yes. Yes, if I catch a nice big eel pout, I'm as happy as I can be. Now, you don't get a lot of meat off them. So you don't keep the little ones. If you get a nice big, hefty, fat one, you bet they're good. I take the back straps off, just right behind the head down to the backbone, and go back past that rear dorsal fin and eat that. That's that tenderloin there. That's the stuff you want. Boil it up in something sweet and boil it till it just kind of starts curling over a little. Dip it in butter, and it's good. If your chunks are big, I'd cut it in chunks, you know. But if the chunks are big, you're going to have to make sure it's cooked. A lot of times, especially if it's a nice sized fish, if you undercook it, it's kind of rubbery. Here comes one. Little guy. 73 degrees in southern Indiana yesterday. Thanks. Thanks. All right, here's a little guy. I'm going to show you this baby sumo now. Boom, there they go. Let's see, I got to get it over into the, there we go. You see this? It's called an eyeball jig. And I guess I'll see if you can see why here. See, it's got an eyeball in it. It might be kind of fussy. These are hand painted. Excuse me. In Grigla, Minnesota, a guy does this stuff. And I got these a couple years ago from him and they're using them. And then I went to reorder and everyone got a bunch. So he was out. And what I got was I got the neck size smaller than what I would like. All right. But that's what he had. So it's hard for me to pull them out of the tackle box and turn them because they're really small. And the hooks are really small. But you catch the fish and every one of them's got the hook right in his mouth. I don't miss any more fish with that, and I miss a lot of fish. I don't miss any more fish with that than the other one. So if it had a little bigger barb on the hook, I'd be all over. That'd be everything I'd have on every day. But they work good. Here we were talking about fishing, then we were talking about burbot, and I caught that little fish. 105 people out there now. Hey, appreciate it, everybody. By the way, it was 73 degrees in Indiana yesterday. It was 16 below zero here this morning. All right, so then I realized I was catching some good fish. And I'm starting to get ready for this at about 20 minutes to noon. When I'm doing that, fish start showing up. And then I had that one come through suspended. I said, boy, if this was 5 minutes later, we'd get this on the live. But it was just 5 minutes too early. Nice fish suspended up there. There's a deal here on Megalive. The ice is gone. I would have bet it's gone in Indiana. It was 73 degrees. A few weeks ago, I was getting Megalive 2. Any update on that project? I have ordered Megalive 2. They said that they would be shipping them in mid to late January. Evidently, that's been put back a little bit. All right. But I'm excited. I've been doing a lot of research. I'm all ready to go. All I've got to do is get my hands on it and a half a day of cussing in the shop to get things put together, and then I'll be ready out here. The funny thing is, there is no ice bundle for Mega Live 2 yet. There will be, but there's not one now. So if you get, I've got the Mega Live 2, the transducer, all the cables, which I don't have yet, but I'll getting those. Ooh, all right, Paul. And this, I know Paul, fishing out of Spring Steel, doing good. Good to hear it. So there's nothing with this new Explorer, the new Helix answer, to mount it to. There's a lot of good aftermarket stuff. But now, of course, this Explorer has got a wider gimbal on it. All right, you know, this sits in the pack, in the tote. I see that black thing is sitting in with a handle on it and everything. That's sitting there, and that Helix screws into the arms that are right in there, just made for it. Well, the new Explorers are wider, so that you can't use it unless you get an adapter. So there's kind of a trick to getting it all put together, and I will be able to talk about that more once I've done it. And I'm not good at stuff, but I'll be able to do this. It's simple enough, and it was really funny to me, as I've helped 5 or 6 other people who got Mega Lives and helped set them up right out on the ice or right in the boat. I've done all that, and there's a lot that it does that I don't use, won't ever use. But as far as getting it set up, running it straight down for ice fishing, I'm an expert in that. Unless there's one little thing different in your unit, then I'd be handcuffed. But Mega Live 2, I'm excited about it. But as far as what we're doing, this right here, Good Noon Bite. That's right. The fish bite every day, sometime. You just have to be here when it happens. Yeah, here is Mega Live and the Helix 9. That's the standard ice bundle that they came out with. And I hope that you've done some research on this, watched some YouTube videos, because you'll say, oh, one brand's way better than the others. Oh, one brand's way better than the other. And one brand's way better than the other. Well, as far as this view right here, shooting straight down, there's nothing better than this. And everything else may be just as good. But, and this is what 99% of what I use it for, even in the summertime, shooting over the side of the boat, because I jig all summer. And this is what you watch, all right? Watch this. I'm going up and down now. That's my left-handed rod. And here's the one on the right. And I can see 16 feet to the left and 16 feet to the right. And it's a great education to what fish are doing, what they like, and even what they don't like. 120 people out there now. Hey, thanks, everybody. Notch Johnson. Geez, I wish my name was Notch Johnson. I fish here from 8 o'clock in the morning until noon, usually. Helix 10 in a chopped up milk crate with Mega Live and Mega Down imaging transducer, both mounted with a Mega 360 stick powered by a 40 amp hour battery. There you go. Now, for all you people that are handy and want to build your own, you sure can. I am not, but I would think those plastic crates, that'd be a great thing to do. I'll get this. It's a monster. I am, it's kind of funny. Yesterday, before I moved out here, I looked and I was 2.2 miles out of the Long Point Harbor, kind of towards the end of the Long Point Road. All right. And I moved out 0.8 of a mile and then measured again. So I think I went probably more east than north, but I thought I was going straight north. And now I'm still only 2.5 or 2.6 miles out of the harbor. But I am out here. I'm an eighth of a mile outside of the deepest road that Long Point has. All right. We're going to talk probably about the whole lake today because it's some interesting things going on. But here at Long Point, they've got an awesome road system. It's very good. It is friendly for wheelhouses. It's friendly for if you want to come fish in the hub, however you want to do it. It's really, really good for that. Now, here's the difference from Long Point. There's a couple. Long Point has got everything close in here. There is gravel, there's sand, there's mud, there's reefs. There's 5 or 6 little reefs close in you can fish. And not every place has that. Zipple Bay has a couple of reefs, and they've got some sand, and they're fairly close to the mud. Over at Arneson's, they've got little rock piles scattered all over. They've got 50 reefs over there, and it's just not as deep water that way. So with Arneson's and Long Point and Zipple Bay, they're the only ones fishing this kind of stuff that is fairly close in. Okay. Over to the east and south of us, I mentioned that the Wigwam Road and Adrian's Road, they're going out. They're 15, 20 miles out, and they're just going to keep going. And I think that's a great idea. Over there, you come out, you've got sand, and it turns to mud, and that's really all there is. So they go out a mile, set up their houses, keep plowing. 4 or 5 days later, they pull all their houses out another mile, and they keep going, and they keep going, and they stay in fresh water. With the 20 resorts that are fishing that area over there, they need to do that. And it works good for them. So any of these places that you would like to go and fish, I can't tell you there is any place you should avoid, because everything's got their pluses. All right, here at Long Point, I'd say the pluses are the great variety that they've got close in, and you're as close to the deep water here as you are anywhere else on the lake. That's a big deal, especially in midwinter. And you can fish up in 22 feet of water all day if you want to, and you're probably going to catch them, but the action's out deeper, 30 plus. Get out into the mud. Then if you want to fish around some rocks, do that too, but once you get out to the mud, it's the same. It's the same thing that Wigwam and Adrian's are driving 20 miles on the lake to find. We've got it right here, closer in. Now, Long Point isn't nearly as busy as these other places, so I'd say thank goodness for that. 145 people out there. Oh, there's a fish there now too. What am I going to do? He's on this one. Come on, buddy. Ooh. See there? Nope. Dang it. I've got the other line ready to go on his face, so come on up, buddy. There we go. He's going back down. Well, why would he be interested in one minnow and not in the other one? You going to come back? Come on. All right, I got to bait this. Well, he's still there. He might come up and look at this anyway. You watch that for me while I get this guy up here. I can show you. Oh, still on there. This has got just a little tungsten jig, like the neck size bigger from the other one, and the hook is just the neck size bigger. So that's kind of why I ended up grabbing these. But both of them work good. I've got jigs on both lines. When fishing was tough yesterday, I had a rattle bait on for a while, and I had a jigging spoon on for a while, and I had a rattling jigging spoon on for a while. And I wound up with 2 little jigs on, and that's what generally works for me. I'm going to make some real general statements here now that people can say, you're full of it. We're into February now. February is the dead of winter. This is winter. It's been here for a while. December and January, great fishing. And I would say between December, January, February, and March, and even into April, which you can fish up here, February is the slowest time. That doesn't mean it's a slow time, but it's the slowest time. If I'm going to have days where I just can't get them, can't contact them, whoop, here we go. I tried the setup with the lighted lure, like you said. I would not say it did not do any worse than anything else. Our crew used anything might have been the same. Now, I used these blinking light lures. Lake of the Woods on Saturday caught 2 13.5-inch crappies. Now you're just saying that to make me sad, Marty. I wish I'd catch a crappie once in a while. And someone who's best thing about Long Point has less people. You gotta like that. Now it's pretty busy on the weekend, but it's not crazy here. This is very nice fishing. You can easily get away from everybody. All right, now we were talking about February and fishing. We're gonna maybe get back to that, but the blinking light lures. I said that before. I started using blinking lights last winter, probably about this time, and heck, we used them all summer. And by fall, instead of fishing was so good, instead of putting on blinking lights when you got bit off, I just tying on jigs. All right, and the jigs worked fine. All right, and I didn't say we caught any more fish, but we didn't catch any less fish with the blinking lights. So maybe we caught more. Makes a great long shank glow tungsten jig for the blinking light rig. JB Lures also has a great long shank tungsten jig also. You know, I would, if I could find a good long shank jig, I would use frozen shiner minnows in the wintertime. You can't just hook a dead shiner minnow once, but I can't, and expect it to stay on there. But if I could hook that through the mouth, out the gill, and through the back deal, I'll watch for those, Brad. Thanks. Made for the blinking light rig. We're talking about these blinking lights. There's a lot of places you can get them. Some blink better than others. So, especially if you're going online, like we were telling you earlier, just go on Amazon and order them. All right. Some of those last for a long time. Some of them don't last very long. There's not warranty on them, but I don't know what you'd expect from them. But and then we ordered a different kind, and they seemed like they worked pretty good. And then I got some from Fish Daddy, you know, the Dirty Bomb one, and they work good. The Dirty Bomb is the blinking light lure, and it comes with a treble hook right underneath it, hooked right to the Dirty Bomb. I'd put a dropper on mine and have it down about 4 feet, but that treble hook right below the blinking light deal, yeah, that'll work good. Bite me. There he is. This is as good a fish as I've had all day. So I got 4 in here now? I think I do. 1, 2, 3. Oh. I must have thrown that one back. I've got 3 in here. Thought I had 4 now. But I've got nice ones. I'm happy about that. And if you sit out in the morning and aren't catching much, aren't seeing much, don't give up. If the morning is bad, the noon hour can be really good. And if the noon hour is not good, at 1 o'clock you can get a spurt. At 2 o'clock you can get a spurt, and at 3 o'clock you can get a spurt. And that evening bite, if you're going to move in shallow, that can work for you good. But I figure if you haven't got it by 3, you're not going to get them. If I haven't got it by 3, I'm pretty sad and crabby by then. Thank you all for tuning in. Hope your lunch hour is going good. 12:26 already. If you have any questions, fire mine here. I'm keeping track pretty good. Oh, and here's more. Some don't blink at all. That's what I said. Yeah, some do, some don't. High caliber lures makes long shank tungsten jigs. The guy says, I'm coming back March 10th. Does the bite pick back up around then? Well, the bite never really goes crabby, and I think one of the I think one of the reasons people get so fired up about the great bite you have, and this is a nice fish actually. One of my favorite things to do is get the line hooked on the bottom of the hole. You know, he's not going down. Okay, what's going on? Okay. Well, thought you were a giant. is going to be, I must have 4 in there. Okay. This might be 14 inches, but yeah, heck, it's almost 15. Well, yeah, on a day when you're keeping fish, I keep 14-inch saugers, 15-inch walleyes. Now, if you want to keep 13-inch saugers and 13-inch walleyes, that's fine. That's what they're here for. All right. March 10th, got interrupted here. The bite picks back up in March pretty good. The later you get here, the better, but then you're kind of banging heads with ice out. Out in 28 feet last weekend, used the blinking lights and caught, I got a thing right in the middle, caught maybe 6 fish. It was slow, went out of zip. Well, it was slow this weekend. Like I said, I was out twice and I caught 6 fish in each trip. And that's not keepers. What have I done here now? Come on, man. There we go. Tangles. We got more down here? March can be better. This is February is the middle of it all. It's the dead of winter. And if you get into them and on the right day with right conditions, yeah. It's I don't think it's as easy in February as it is the rest of the winter, but heck yeah. I'd say don't not come. Don't not come. That's right. Because of it. Because it can sure be worth your while. Like I said, I sat here all morning. Angry. And I realized, well, I guess I'm not doing too bad. And then there's a lot of 18-inch walleyes. 18 and 17.5-inch walleyes. And walleyes exactly 19 inches. That's something you can kind of expect to get one every day. Heck. And there's a lot of little ones. Now this morning, like I said, if I had caught 8 fish and kept 2, well, that's pretty good because that's not, the little fish is kind of what was not around this morning. Got another one coming up here. Want to see this? Sliding right there. Gonna come up, buddy? Huh? You know, it's kind of cool with the Mega Live or whatever you've got. You've got Live Scope, if you've got Active Target. Knowing that the fish are there really is a huge benefit and a huge education. You know, the fish are there. It doesn't make them bite, but you can sure try and see what they're not doing. That fish is hanging in there and hanging around. I would say that over the weekend, fishing was slow. But Ross Swenson, my buddy who fishes over to Swift Ditch, and like I said, if I hadn't told you, I'm going to tell you that right now. If you've been fishing out of Swift Ditch, that's getting busier every year because there's people over there doing a good job and getting things ready for you. There's guys renting out sleeper houses and ice castles, and they're plowing a good road for you to drive out on. The ice comes there early, and it's all good, but it's been busy. Now, and I guess I'm just going by what I've heard. They're going off of Swift Ditch, and they're going all the way over to Whiskey Flats, which is 8 miles on that Swift Ditch road. So they're doing the same thing. It's a small area over there. So you get hundreds and hundreds of people fishing over there, you're going to, it's going to burn the spot, all right? So they just kept moving, and now they're over Whiskey Flats, and they're doing good again. Now this guy said, how'd you do over by North Long Point Reef? I kind of wound up over there by North Long Point Reef by mistake. A guy was telling me he was going to fish over there and he wasn't going over it, and I was ready to move, and I said, well, where? And he goes, right over here. So I went over there and I realized it was North Long Point Reef. As well, okay, there was nobody there. It was a Thursday, and there was nobody there. There was a guy who had pulled an ice castle in there like the weekend before and never drilled holes, just left it sit and went home. So I set up on the Thursday, and Friday I fished there, and I didn't catch any little fish, but the fish I caught were nice. So I caught 10 or 12, and I think I kept, well, I didn't keep any, but I caught 5 or 6 that would have kept. I could have had my limit pretty easy. So the next day, suddenly, since it's North Long Point Reef, and it's a rock pile, and people are attracted to the rock pile, and it's not a secret place by any means. There was 8 or 10 wheelhouses and 15 people set up in hubs around North Long Point Reef. And there was no little fish, but there wasn't many big fish there either. So I said, well, that was in my silver house too. I was exploring there. I went back to my blue house and I fished there for the rest of the weekend and didn't do much either. So that was North Long Point Reef. I didn't do great there, but I didn't think I would do good there. If I had, then I'd have felt like a genius, but I don't do a lot of it. All right, I'll show you how I bleed the fish here in a little bit. On my live scope, I've noticed that many fish have attacked the light. Move the jig up to the fish, and that's a cause strike 11. What he's saying is, you got your blinking light here and your hook here. The fish come up to the blinking light and look at it and bat it around. And yeah, that's kind of fun. What happens is with the fish up there, then you lift up your bait. Suddenly the jig and the meat is right in front of his nose, and they smack it good. And that's fun, fun, fun. Bleed the fish. Okay, well here. Oh, I do have 4 in here. Because I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Geez, I got 5 in here. I better be careful. I have room for 1 more. Bleed the fish. Okay. Well, this is kind of gross here now. Warning, gross alert, okay? I had customers give me a meat shears. These are chicken shears, all right? So you take the fish like here and right here. You know, they got that little thing between their gills right there. You reach in, you snip that. On both sides, snip it back, probably as far as the backbone. And when you do that, you're going to see blood will start pumping out of them, all right? And you bleed that and you get that fish in and clean it. And it is very, very nice meat. The blood is out of it. The fillets are white. And you will notice if you ever get a bite of fish that's fishy tasting, you don't get much of that at all. Here comes some more fish. At the end of last year, ooh, wow. What? Come on, man. Well, come over here then. At the end of last year, we were sitting up, and I got no bait left. And we had swarms of fish, just swarms of fish on the bottom suddenly. And I really hadn't seen that before. He's coming up after my first bait again. And I didn't know what they were, so I sat and I fished them for a while, and it turned out they were saugers, but there was like a massive, and I really hadn't seen that before. And maybe it was because of Mega Live, but I used Mega Live the year before, but there was just 8 or 9 fish just swarming around after my baits. And that's what's just happening now. I got to think that there's no bait. Oh, there he is. He bit. There we go. And this guy was halfway to the top. And it's a sauger. Come on, buddy, let go. They've been releasing really good. That was because I was putting my hand in the water, getting them heading the right direction. Mega Live, we had 3 holes in a row with the Mega Live in the middle. The guy fishing right to my right showed up on the left-hand side. I know, I can fix that. You got to turn your transducer around. You got to point it the wrong direction. 100% fixed. Go 180 degrees around. All right? That's why it's on the left side, because the thing knows which direction it's pointed. I hope you understand that. if you just take your handle on the trend and go halfway around a circle, those baits will be on the right side. The first day I used mine, I put them down. I said, wait a minute. These things are backwards. And I thought, well, here, let's turn this around. I have any idea what's going on here. 192 people out here. It also happened. Oh, that also happened. Swing and a miss. Oh, yes, I'm using my Grandpa Jimmy's fish traps today. The only reason I wouldn't use them day in and day out is if I'm just too lazy to. Jeez. If I'm just too lazy to do it. Okay. Oh, sure. Now we're going to get a bunch of little guys coming in here bugging me. But that's right. Maybe a nice one will come in. If let me get baits in the water. If you haven't seen it, I'll show you the Grandpa Jimmy's ice hole trap. Okay. I think that if you're in a wheelhouse, okay, and you're up a foot or a foot and a half or 18 inches, that'd be a foot and a half, wouldn't it? Or 20 inches off the ice, you might have a hard time with your Grandpa Jimmy's ice hole trap. It's perfect for in a fish house. But that'd be the only thing. You'd have to just get a longer extension, and I'll show you that. I'm almost back down in here. Someone just asked me about Mega Live 2 again. Mega Live 2 is like a week past due, so it's going to be here anytime. I've done all the studying. I know how it's going to hook up and how I'm going to use it. And when summertime comes, I'm going to use both of them in the boat, one on each side. So that's going to take some inventing by then. But for the winter time, I'm just going to switch over and use the Mega Live 2. So I'm set. All I need to do is get it and have a half a day where I can mess with it. And it's going to be great. I'm going to have to learn some new things, which I'm really not looking forward to, but it's going to be simple enough. The Explorer screen replacing the Helix, the Explorer, is touchscreen. I've never had touchscreen in a fishing depth finder before. But I got to think touchscreen is easier and simpler than button pushing, so it ought to work good. Are you booking now for summer guiding trips? Yes. I'm going to, if I haven't done it, I'm going to change it on the Facebook page. Yeah, because I'm getting calls and texts 3 or 4 a week now. So, and that just snowballs from here on out. So go to the NCOR Facebook page, NCOR Guide Service Facebook page. Like it if you haven't done so already, and then all the information that you need is going to be there. There was something else I was going to talk about with the fisher, and you're just bugging me now. See if this will help. Oh, he's there. Another one. One of these times we say, "Oh, it's a whopper." And then it will be. Well, here's another. This is fine. Oh, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you the Grandpa Jimmy's fish trap. That fish hit the water, took off. So I'll do this before I put the lines back in. I would, here we go. This is a wooden plate, sits on the floor. This is the fish trap, all right? If, when he invented this thing, he was just going to screw this to the floor, which is great. They thought maybe people didn't want to drill holes in their floor, so he put it on this board. Now this is down, and there's at the bottom of this thing, there's this paddle. See this? All right. Now, when you get a fish in the hole, you step on this thing. All right, look what happens. It's just a string that pulls that up. So that closes off your hole. So the fish, if he gets off your bait, which they sometimes do, he's got nowhere to go but into the fish trap thing. Now, this Grandpa Jimmy, who invented this thing, is from down by Alexandria. And evidently, around there, if you lose a nice crappie in the hole, your life is ruined. And you know, I'm getting older. Jimmy's not a spring chicken. I think I'm older than him. But instead of diving down to your knees to grab that fish before they can get away, you just step on that trap, and it works great. It sits right up against the side of the hole. It doesn't get in the way. It'll get in the way if you don't do it right. But you make sure that it's just on the side of the hole, and you just wait. It just sits there and does nothing until you need. You step on that thing, the trap comes up and keeps the fish from getting away. And I have used it on several fish now. Every nice fish, for sure, that you want to keep, do that. Here comes another fish in here. We all need a lasso video. Well, you know, and I should, because that might be interesting. I don't see how. I get stymied right away. I'm going to try. All right, when I get it, I'm going to do an unboxing video. The color palette on the Mega Live I like best is called Doppler. Well, oh, there's a fish halfway up. What's going on here, boy? Swing this over. Come on. Way up there's that fish. Well, he's not paying any attention to me. Okay, fine. He looks so. I better check my bait again since I'm close. Okay, I'll get a couple of cameras in and I'll do the unboxing. I'm going to take the new Mega Live 2 and I'm going to just take my helix off of this shuttle. I've got an adapter plate so that the Explorer 10 will fit on this same thing. I'm using the same battery and I'm using the same pole, and I will just switch things over. So at the end, my Mega Live 1 and the helix will be sitting on the shelf, and the Mega Live 2 will be in action. What munchies did you bring out? The color palettes. You know, people really love color palettes. I think there's 12 on the helix, and there's like 20 or so on this new Explorer. So I what's a color palette? Well, okay, here, I'll show you. I think I can do this. Go back over here. Go down to Mega Live Colors. Now we'll switch. It's yellow and red now. Now it's white and red and purple. Now it's green and white. This is one you see a lot. This is just kind of busy for me. But there's my baits. You got a lot of other things going on. This is a nice palette, they call it. What's going on here? Fish. So you've got a lot to pick from. Some of them, most of them would be just fine. But this is just a little busy for me. I'm going to go back to my other, but this is what you can get. Okay. Which way do I go here? This is the one. Okay. And there's a fish right down below me. That's the color palettes. And that evidently is a big selling point. But it's fun to try out the different ones. But you find one that you like and you pretty much stick with that for a long time. We are 50 minutes into this already. 188 people out there. Thank you. Munchies. I usually don't bring anything out to eat at all, but since I was staying out longer to do this, I'd normally go in about 11:30 or quarter to 12. So I'll do the live and then we'll go in. So I'll have lunch today, but I brought a granola bar and Twizzlers licorice that I haven't eaten yet, so I can do that another day. I bring coffee out, and for a while I was bringing a whole thermos of coffee. That's too much coffee. Spending more time outside the house than inside the house. So I bring out one cup. I drink one in the house in the morning and fill that up, and heck, these cups that you've got now, cups like this keep your coffee hot all day. So I don't eat many munchies in the fish house. The extensions. You know what is it about extensions that people? Oh, extensions for the fish trap. Good idea. I'll show you one more time because that's really a good question. There's a fish coming up. Wait a sec. Boy, he's on there with this lid. Oh, good, he got away. Check my bait quick, and I'll show you this. Yeah, bait's gone. Okay. This is harder on the phone. But see this line right there? And, this line all the way at the top. This is the extension right here and right here. It's I think it's an 18-inch extension. Now you could get another one of those, and you could make this thing as long as you want it. The only thing you'd have to adjust the string, because you have to get the string tied up so that when you step on it, it goes like that. See, but you could get as many extensions as you wanted. If the ice gets when I first came out with it this fall, and I used them all last year too, or most of last year. I got a fish on this one. Jeez. Before the ice gets to be a foot thick, this is a little walleye too, I think. Then the fish trap will sit below the bottom of the ice. There's a little walleye, buddy. Okay. And if that sits below the bottom of the ice, when the fish swims around the hole, which they do, your line will hook up underneath that. So if with the Grandpa Jimmy's fish trap, it can't be below the bottom of the ice. There you go. As soon as the ice gets thick enough, then you want it down there a ways anyway. Then you put the extension on. And if it got really thick, you could put another extension on. But unless you're in a wheelhouse, it's way up off the ice, you really don't need to be much more than this. But you could just get another one of those plates, and I'm sure that you can get those. It's all steel. You're not gonna break anything. Need a bait on this one. Let's see what's going on here. Did you find the color of dirty bombs make a difference? The best one that I've used is one that blinks lots of colors. And it blinked 3 or 4 colors, so that probably wasn't a dirty bomb, but it seemed like every dirty bomb I put on has blue or green. And I don't know that it matters a lick as to what colors they're blinking. The fact that they are blinking is what's important. Well, it's been a pretty fast 50 minutes here, guys. No boat cookies. I haven't had boat cookies for a long time. I'll tell you, here's a good thing, and Todd will attest to this fact. In the old days, when I went fishing, I just brought along a package of Oreo cookies, or better yet, Sunshine Hydrox cookies, just like Oreos, but cheaper, and 3 packs of cigarettes. and you were good for the whole day. That was lunch. You had to make sure you had enough cookies, and at the end of the day, the cigarettes are all gone, and the cookies are all gone on a normal, decent day. So if I'm staying out, I bring just the lightest of lunch, because you can't be farting around eating because that's when fish are going to bite, for sure. So now when I do bring it's veggies, things that are better for you than 3 packs of cigarettes. Okay. Do you find the color? Oh, we did that one already. No, I don't think it matters what color. I like the ones that blink a lot of colors. But as long as it's blinking, as long as it's throwing off some light, I can't imagine how it could make a difference. Now, and maybe it says on the package, but I really have no idea what the color they're going to blink until I put them in the water. Wow, another suspended fish. Here he comes. Come on, buddy. Oh, what? There we go. Here he comes. Got him. Had him. Still gonna be there? Get the other lined up right next to him, maybe. Come on. Oh, he's gonna swim away. Well, I had 2 chances at that one. I don't think it was a whopper, but he was suspended to begin with. This one's got bait. I'll put it back to the bottom. Come on. How's the accessibility off the road there at Long Point? Awesome. They've got a great road. They do a good job. They are out there all day working, helping people that might need help. And on a year like this, they're plowing a lot less than they would on a normal year. You can get around off the road. I'm driving my truck. I haven't had my truck out for years. And I can drive right to the end of the Long Point Road and drive over the smallest of all little berms that they've got there and head out cross country. Now, you got to be careful. Watch for, there is a snowdrift here and there, especially if there's been a fish house around it. But it's great, really. And a good thing about Long Point, we talk about it, it's busy, but it's not way, way, way busy. You can get off by yourself here pretty easily. Now, if you want to fish around North Long Point Reef, or if you want to fish around that little reef over by the Green Buoy, you're going to have some company. But fishing Long Point is all about mud and flats, and you can be half a mile away from everybody else without very many problems at all. Well, I would like to caught that one. I've had the best fishing I've had all morning since 5 minutes before I went on the air here. And now I've got 5. I've got one 18-inch walleye, and my saugers are all within a scooch of 15 inches to 16 inches. And I spent the morning cussing and saying, well, what's going on here? I want more fish biting. But it's been good. Now tomorrow I'm going to come right back. I'm leaving the house here till further notice. Now I may move around. Can I show you this before we wrap up? I've got the map in here too. Okay. No, we can't see that. Here we go. All right, here's Long Point Shore. All right. So we followed their road out to about here. And here's North Long Point Reef over this way. It's on this map, but I have to zoom in a little bit more. So that's where I was at North Long, and I was over here. So I left there, came over here, and then I got tired of that, so I just went out. Now, see these little dots? Can you see that? Little red dots look like freckles. I've got some more here. Those are the places where I fish in the summertime. I anchor up and jig in those spots, heck, all of August through the middle of September. Then we kind of come in closer. But that's my good fishing spots. There, look at how close I am to them. I could get to these over here. I think these are going to be on the Wigwam Road probably, so I'm not going to get over that far. But I can get back to these. These are my good jigging spots. So I'm in a really good area. So I'll just keep moving around a little bit because you never know. You may, I got to do this. Back this one. You could hit a spot that is just terrible. So you could easily hit a spot where the fish just aren't going to be for whatever reason. So when you set up somewhere and you're not catching the way you want to, you got to make the decision. Well, what are we going to do? You know, wet the tip of your finger and touch the back of the light to light up as if yes, but no, they don't. So there, I did learn that. So someone told me, so I appreciate that. But I've licked my fingers and put them on the back of those things, and then the blinking light. Well, here we go. I'll show you. We're not going to go a lot longer here, but I'll show you how these blinking light deals work. Okay, here's the blinking light. Okay, on the back of it, they got little copper wires that stick out, and that's what completes the circuit. So there, you can see it blinking. This one isn't blinking too much anymore. But it's by putting in the water completes the circuit on those two copper wires. And that's what makes it blink. So you put it in the water and it doesn't blink. So you take it out, you lick your finger and you rub it, doesn't work. Says, well, I'm going to throw this away, but you put it down. The next day you pick it up, put it in the water, and it blinks like crazy. This stuff will put you over the edge. Because I wanted to blink long and bright, and most of the time they do not. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. You got to figure out what you're dealing with. These things aren't. Wow, are there fish coming in? Come on up, buddy. They're not real expensive. Well, if you're buying them, you're going to pay some money for them, but the raw material for this is made a million at a time, and it's not going to be the best product you ever bought or used in your life as far as longevity. Maybe they'll get there with many people using them and talking about them. What we do, they'll. And I know that Fish Daddy is working on that. They're putting batteries in and glow lights and all kinds of things. So it's a work in progress. I'd say, here we go. This is not too bad. Maybe we'll kind of wrap it up with this one. I could hold it really close to the camera. Make it look, well, heck, this one is almost a 14-incher, I'd say. It is, oh, heck yeah. It's 14 and a half. I'm not keeping him, but look at this guy. Well, you know what? His eyes are kind of bugging out. I will keep it. This is going to be my last fish. So my smallest fish is the last one, the 14 and a half inch sauger. I had two fish kind of right away, and then the fish were gone, but heck, the last hour has been great. Boom. So there's my limit. And we're 1 hour and 3 minutes, almost 4 minutes into this. Boy, your uncle lived by Wheelers for years. He had a great time, I bet, living at Wheelers, huh? This is a great spot, Lake of the Woods. Before we go, just remind you to keep it clean when you get out here and you're fishing and you get done at the end of the day or at the end of the 3 days you're out here. Police your area, walk around, pick up your junk, and don't leave anything behind. People are watching for it and they're waiting to pounce if you leave a bunch of stuff out on the ice. So, and it's a law that they're looking at now, and they should. Yes, he did have a good life out there. You bet. I moved up here full time at the end of 2016, and it's been great living in paradise. So there we go. Keep it clean. Pick up after yourself. Thanks for being here. If you haven't done it yet, subscribe to the Kurt Quinnell YouTube channel. This is it. Subscribe to it. That way, if I get a new video out, you'll be notified right away and you won't miss anything. Ooh, you hate to miss anything. I guess that's how they do it. So, and the NCOR Guide Service Facebook page. I don't have a website. I'm not going to have a website. I can do it with Facebook. I can do it with YouTube. And I appreciate y'all watching this. So have a great rest of your day. And I'll be back out here tomorrow. And we're going to, Fiska's Wolfgram jigs. Okay, I'll go search some of that this afternoon. So thank y'all for watching. Have a great time. See ya.